45 years later, and Agnostic Front are hitting harder than most bands half their age. They just released a new album called Echoes in Eternity. It proves that New York hardcore is still alive. I'll be honest with you, I've known about this band for years. I never really listened to them. I remember watching a video of theirs back in the 80s that was on Headbangers Ball. I think they played it all the way at the end of the show because that's when they would play their most heaviest or most extreme stuff. I never paid much attention. I thought it was just some punk rock or hardcore. I wasn't interested back then. Now it's 2025. I received this album as a promo. I decided to download it. Usually I like to download these promos into my phone and listen to them while I'm doing stuff around the house. And to my surprise, I really enjoyed the album. It actually reminded me a lot of those crossover bands like Suicidal Tendencies or DRI, and that's something I like a lot. So I enjoyed it a lot. That's why I want to talk about it. This is their 13th studio album, and they have been putting out albums pretty consistently over the years, so let's get into it. Usually when I do these reviews, I like to research the bands thoroughly just so I can have an idea of the history behind them. Now, I won't give you a history lesson, maybe in another video. I want to mention that this band is responsible for influencing thrash, crossover, and even metalcore, so they are one of the most respected bands to come out of the New York hardcore scene, and they've been doing it since the late 70s, so that's something that's very impressive. The album is very straight and to the point. It's 15 tracks in about 28 minutes. There's no filler or experimentation. It's just hardcore. If there's anything different, there's a guest rapper from back in the day. I'll get to that soon. The album kicks off with Way of War. This one takes off right out the gate with some fast and aggressive hardcore. It's fast and furious, and over before you know it, it's just some intense hardcore music. It might just be a minute and a half worth of music, but they pack a lot into that short time frame. Roger Miret's vocals are still as aggressive as ever. After this is You Say, and this one's even angrier. This one shows the band's ability to blend punk rock with metal. The song also has some awesome bass guitar work by Mike Gallo, as well as the pounding drums of Danny LaMagna. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing your names. Then there is A Matter of Life and Death, and this one has a guest appearance by the famous rapper from New York, Darryl DMC of Run-DMC. I like the song a lot. I thought it sounded a lot like those thrash metal and rap hybrids that you would hear on like the Judgment Night soundtrack or something like that from the 90s. It's also the longest song at about 3 minutes, and there's a music video shot in black and white showing scenes in New York City, and the beginning of the video and the end is pretty cool. It shows DMC playing 3-card Monte in the streets of New York City. Then there is Tears for Everyone. This might be faster and angrier than so many other songs that came before it. It's just 2 minutes of pure hardcore, and they were even able to add in a mosh part, which was pretty cool. Then there is Divided, which slows down the pace, or slows it down in terms of a typical hardcore song. This one has a lot of attitude. I like it because the lyrics are about how people are divided. The song has some awesome choruses and a cool guitar solo. Then there is Sunday Matinee. This one has a fun and bouncy rhythm. Sounded a lot more like punk than metal, but I still like it. One of the songs where they're reminiscing about hanging out in New York, and they mention many famous street names like Bleecker Street and Bowery. Then there is I Can't Win. This one has a cool crossover sound. It has those big metallic guitar riffs and lots of energy. It's another short song, reminding me of classic Suicidal Tendencies. Then there's Turn Up the Volume. This one had a heavy metallic sound. It's an awesome song with cool gang vocals in the chorus. Another song that would cause a mosh pit to form if it is ever played live. Then there was a shorter song in the album called Art of Silence. It's just 42 seconds long. It's fast and heavy, and that's all I have to say. Then there's Shots Fired. It sounds like some angry hardcore with gang vocals and lyrics filled with New York attitude. Then there's Hell to Pay, a very fast-paced and thrashy song with a catchy chorus. Thought it was one of the more memorable tracks, although everything in this album is very good. It might be the breakdown with a bass guitar. That's why I like it, and that's why it stands out. The Evolution of Madness is another song that's over before you know it. Just over a minute long, has some classic hardcore and another good song in the album. Then there is Skip the Trial, which is more of a hardcore punk song with a lot of that New York City attitude. Another cool song with a catchy chorus and some heavy metallic parts added in. There are 2 more songs on the album. Next song is called Obey. This one is more of a thrasher. It has an angry tone with thrashy riffs and big gang vocals. Last song is called Eyes Open Wide. This one has a cool galloping sound and the guitars. One of the slower tracks comparatively, but an awesome album closer. In conclusion, I was impressed about how good it sounds because this band has the ability to make something both sound old and new at the same time. I liked it much more than I was expecting because this was the first Agnostic Front album that I ever listened to in full. I think I might have listened to it about 5 or 6 times at this point because I've had it for a while. It's one of those short albums that's really easy to listen to. I think the band has been together for a long time and they have a lot of chemistry. It's the second hardcore album I reviewed in the past few weeks. The one before this was the album by Biohazard, and I think this one's much better than the Biohazard album in my opinion. I like it a lot. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this up, give this 8.5 out of 10 only because it's very fun and just one of those albums that has a really good replay value. It's a great album to listen to and put on in the background when you're doing some type of physical activity, whether you're in the gym or you're doing some work around the house or something of that nature. It's a really good album for that. It's a cool album to have and listen to with your headphones just to make doing whatever task you're doing more enjoyable. So that is all. Let me know if you're a fan of Agnostic Front. Have you listened to them before? What do you think of this album? How does it compare to their other stuff? Because I would like to know. I haven't listened to anything else by them before. And before, I mentioned Biohazard, so I'm going to stick that review here if you want to hear what I had to say about that album. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe. If you're not already, I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.